Tony Gonzalez had an affair with aide who set herself on fire. All right, months before her death, Regina Santos Aviles texted a fellow Gonzalez staffer saying she had an affair with the married congressman. Gonzalez has dodged questions about their relationship. And there she is. Dude, this is crazy. She died in September after setting herself on fire. Yeah, that is like so crazy. U.S. Rep Tony Gonzalez engaged in a romantic relationship with an aide who died last year by setting herself on fire outside her Uvalde home, according to a text message and people close to the aide and her family. And I mean, dude, that's just weird at that point, because you wonder, did she really do it? Or were a couple of Tony's guys, right? Were a couple of Trump guys? Was Michael Cohen out there with a couple of the Trump lackeys making this shit happen, or what? A former staffer in Gonzalez district office who worked closely with the aide, Regina Santos Aviles, said she told him they had an affair in 2024 and that she spiraled into a depression after her husband discovered the relationship and Gonzalez abruptly cut her off. He also shared with the San Antonio Express News a screenshot of a text message from Santos Aviles where she acknowledged having an affair with our boss. Okay, dude, what craziness. She spirals into a depression and then Gonzalez cuts her off. So then she's just alone having to deal with the whole shit. The staffer, who asked not to be named, citing a fear of retaliation, faulted Gonzalez's office for failing to intervene, saying he warned the congressman's district director months before her death that he was concerned about her well-being. I feel like self-immolation is a rather intense way of like going about this, right? You know what I mean? So there's definitely something going on with a, you know, when somebody sets themselves on fire, there is that's a statement. Okay. That's a statement. There's a statement being made there. Let's look at these texts because I saw some of these earlier. He was asking her for photos. It was like no bueno. Look at this. This is from Gonzalez saying, you know, send me a sexy pic. And she says, I swear my life has been a telenovela for the past 7 days. You don't really want a hot picture of me. And he says, yes, I do. Hurry. And she's like, is this a test? No, I just don't like taking pictures of myself. And he says, I'm just such a visual person. Like, what a scumbag. Okay. I mean, this is what I'm talking about, right? This woman is like, you know, obviously having some shit she's going through, and he's trying to get nudes. Okay. He's trying to get nudes. Congressmen should not be having affairs with their staffers. There is a power dynamic there that is so, like, not okay. I mean, it is not okay, guys, because the way you retain work, when you go into political circles, the only way you get work is through the recommendation. That's it. If you don't get a recommendation, you don't continue to get work. That's how it goes. So there is like an insane power dynamic that exists in these circles. That shit is not okay because you can ruin the person's career. There's an unreal power dynamic that the staffer can never say no. They don't have an option to say no because they know if they do, their fucking career is over. It's like there's no consent in these types of relationships. In a text thread that a former staffer shared with Express News, Santos Aviles told him, I had an affair with our boss and I'm fine. You will be fine. Okay. The thread, which bore Santos Aviles' name and image, was timestamped April 27, 2025. Okay. The Express News verified the message was sent from a phone number that belonged to Santos Aviles. According to the former staffer, operations in Gonzalez's two-person Uvalde regional office shifted after Aviles texted the staff about the affair. District Director Jalen Falcon canceled meetings with local orgs that had been arranged by her and the former staffer. Said neither he nor Santos Aviles accompanied Gonzalez on any Uvalde visits after that point. So as soon as she came out, they were like, cut her off, essentially, started canceling everything. The former staffer said Santos Aviles' distress intensified in the months before her death and that she told him she went on antidepressants in the summer of 2025. She talked about Tony every day. She went from the #1 employee in the office to nothing. The former staffer also said he alerted Falcon in June that he was aware of the affair, concerned for her well-being. At that point, he was completing most of her work, and she was absent at least 1 day a week. Falcon did not respond to her request for comment. See, this is where it gets bad, right? Because obviously the shit comes out, and then there's retribution happening in the workplace, and nobody's addressing any of her concerns or even acknowledging, like, there's no openness around this, creating a super toxic work environment. The ex-staffer said that in August, roughly 1 month before her death, she attempted to unalive herself and police were called to her home. The Uvalde Police Department has so far refused the Express News' request for records of past emergency calls to her home, and the paper has not independently confirmed the incident. That's crazy. Dude, isn't that wild? Like, the cops refused the request for records. So, like, it almost seems like the cops are helping Tony Gonzalez keep this shit under wraps. That shit pisses me off, man.
Tonight, Texas Congressman Tony Gonzalez is hitting back, responding to a new report of an alleged affair with a staffer who died in September after setting herself on fire. That staffer, Regina Santos Aviles, worked for Gonzalez for close to 4 years before her death. And now the San Antonio Express News reporting on allegations she was having an affair with the congressman. In November, Gonzalez denied the two had an inappropriate relationship.
But the rumors are completely untruthful. I don't know exactly what happened. No one's contacted me. I haven't contacted anyone.
But in a new statement to NBC News, Congressman Gonzalez does not address the accusations of an affair. Instead saying, I am not going to engage in these personal smears, and instead will remain focused on helping President Trump secure the border and improve the lives of all Texans. According to attorney Bobby Barrera, who represents Santos Aviles' husband, his client believes Santos Aviles was having an affair, which is why they were estranged, and the couple was living apart at the time of her suicide.
Dude, she's adorable. And we have the text messages of him asking for naked pics. Like, sorry there, Tony Gonzalez. You're not getting out of that easy there, homie. Dude, what a fucking... Dude, these guys piss me off, bro.
Barrera did not say what his client's beliefs of an affair were based on. Gonzalez is facing a major political fight this fall. He's locked in a very tight Republican primary. And with or without these allegations, Democrats plan to mount a vigorous general election campaign against him as well. The House Ethics Committee has not said if it's opened an investigation into Gonzalez. House rules prohibit members of Congress from having romantic relationships with their staff.
Mr. Speaker, why should Tony Gonzalez resign, given these very serious accusations?
There are serious accusations, and it must be taken seriously. And I've told him he's got to address that with his constituents, and he's in the process of doing that. Is my understanding. There's an investigation in the state of Texas on these matters, and has been going for some time. And the Office of Congressional Conduct has also, it's been reported. They've been looking at it. And all of that was news to me. But I think, as in every case like this, you have to allow the investigations to play out and all the facts to come out. You know, I've been intellectually consistent about this. Whether you're talking about Republicans or Democrats, you have to let the system play out. If someone, you know, I was against, for example, the expulsion of George Santos a while back, because he had been accused of a crime and indicted but not found guilty. If the accusation of something is going to be the litmus test for someone being able to continue to serve in the House, you'll have a lot of people who would have to resign or be removed or expelled from Congress. So I think you got to allow this to play out. I think it is very serious. The allegations are clearly very serious, and Tony Gonzalez will address it. I think he will.
Does he deserve to win re-election? Does he deserve to win re-election?
We'll see you later, guys.
Dude, that's some bullshit. Because if the investigation comes up inconclusive, then the guy's off the hook, right? If the investigation never finishes, then you never deal with it. And so that is a way of sort of copping out. Kind of like, you know, what they do with Donald Trump. He's had 26 credible rape accusations, and everyone's like, he's never been convicted. Oh, I've never been convicted. And it's like, oh, great. So now we have to have a full conviction. But wait, you did get adjudicated in a civil trial. Nope. That was a setup. Now, this could be foul play, guys. Okay, we don't know, right? Either this is some type of statement exit by the staffer, and she was really distraught, and she was trying to make some sort of statement, or this could be some type of foul play. We don't know. I think obviously we do need to get those, like somebody needs to get a hold of those surveillance videos from the home that are in evidence somewhere. That shit needs to get looked at and confirmed. And I feel like that shit should be made public. So you just know you should like be able to put this to rest.